Yo, welcome to Bulletin Board, presented by the Burban Boys Network, where we key in on some of the biggest sports topics of this week. Introduce myself. Y'all know me on this network. It's your boy, Lil Big Meech.
In the building.
Yes.
Oh, and me.
Yeah.
Reed reviews at Burban Boy Reed, man. I'm just excited to be here, man. We got us a sports show finally on the network. My boy Meech is locking in for this, man. So
we tuned in.
Walk us through this, Meech.
Yeah, this, like I said, this the Bulletin Board. What we doing is we talking sports, keeping the sports on this one. We got everything pretty much covered across the platform, but we figured this is the dedicated time for us to take down ESPN.
Hey,
ESPN,
gotta
here
get
we
him out of
come.
here. Yeah.
Fox Sports, you're looking vulnerable. DraftKings Sports, holla at us. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hey, you know what I'm saying? But keeping this in format, we're going to kick this off with Around the Board. Around the Board is where we go through a quick couple of topics that we want to key in on before we get to whatever the main topic is of this show. So kicking off with Around the Boards, let's start off with the NBA Finals update.
Oh, man. I said over on the episode 4 of the Can't Knock the Hustle podcast, it was me and Dre, and I said a very, very controversial take.
Okay, well, hold that take. First, introduce it. The Knicks right now are up 2-0 on the Spurs.
Yeah.
Looking crazy. Looking like it's heading towards a sweep. They're imposing their will on these young Spurs team. And it's reminding me of the Thunder when they went against the Miami Heat. And they had that young KD, young Harden.
Yeah.
And everybody thought they was ready and then hit that little buzzsaw. This typically happens with young teams. Wemby looked tired. Do you think it's going to end in a sweep?
So, unfortunately, at this point, it looks like we're moving that way.
Okay.
I'm hard-pressed to believe that after losing those first 2 games, especially losing the second one the way you did, where you was on the comeback, had a chance to win, and the star player who needed to have that moment didn't have it. The first NBA Finals game in Madison Square Garden that has TSA clearance.
That's going to be on Monday. Trump got it locked down.
This the first game of the series y'all gonna win. I'm hard pressed to believe that. And if y'all go down 3-0, I think it's more than likely a foregone conclusion that the Knicks are going to want to get it done in New York City.
Okay, so do you think there's anything that the Spurs could do to turn it around? Because when I look at it, I feel like this game 3, of course, it's important. That'd be silly to say that it's an important game, but I truly feel like this is a turning point game because this is now the first time they've had like 2 days in between games. So now they get a chance to
really rest,
get a little bit of rest because Wemby looks tired. Before this series started, I had told Zach like y'all might be okay because Wemby's in the deep end of the pool now.
Yeah,
and I know that nigga could stand up in probably 95% of the pools he's ever been in.
Shit.
But now he's at the deep end of the pool. He's never played this many games before. Even in the regular season, he's never played this level of minutes before. So now, can he survive this moment? But is game 3 at the Garden, he's a moment's player. When it's time to create a moment, it seems like he steps up. When he want to go at Chet, it's time. When he want to hit the half court 3 damn near to send the game to overtime, he can. So now what I want to see, because I had this thing about game 2 where if he didn't drop 15 points in the first quarter, they losing.
Right.
Because anytime he comes out with that imposing presence and just snatches the heart out of the other team in that first quarter, they end up winning and he can calm down a little bit. I need to see about 40, 45 in game 3 in the Garden. I need to see him walk into the Garden with that pressure because it's going to be a scene we never seen before. We got Trump sitting sideline. We got Stephen A. Smith about to have a heart attack. We got each seat is like 3,000 to 4,000, which I will say, if you got cases, I know y'all seen American Gangster. When they seen Frank Lucas come down there in that
don't become the NBA Finals Frank
Lucas.
Do
not become the NBA.
Do not.
The feds are in the building, and if they know that if you're in here without a media credential, you got a little bit of expendable cash, and they might want to know why.
Yeah.
So I seen the Monaco boats. They got the Monaco race going on. They say they don't know who owned those boats or whatever. It's some billionaire secrets. If you step into the Garden, there will be no secrets. Dolan watches everybody on camera when they come through those doors.
He got his own private security force.
Yes, he do.
Yeah.
So don't get it twisted. But what do you think it would take for the series to turn?
Well, Wemby just had his moment to make a moment, and he missed the shot. And I feel like he needed that.
Yeah.
Seeing his emotion after the game lets me know that after this 2 days of rest, I'm pretty sure he's going to come out here and be the most motivated player that he's ever been in his career.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see him go out there and snatch their hearts out.
Yeah.
I would love it. For me to see the Spurs potentially come back and win this series, they got to do one or two things. They have to win one of these games in New York.
Mm-hmm.
You either got to win game 3, drop 4. Cool. You still get to go home. And then once we get to 3-2, it gets a little spooky, right?
Yeah.
But even if, they go ahead and lose tomorrow, but they win game 4 and you stop them from winning, and you take that momentum back home to San Antonio, and then you get another one. Well, now y'all have started to move the tide a little bit. Now you put the emphasis on the Knicks and put the pressure on them to finish out. Let's see how y'all finish. You know what I'm saying? This will be reminiscent of what we saw with them versus Atlanta in round 1, if it could start to move like that. But if the Knicks come out here and railroad them game 3, I think at that point, we're going to have to call it what it is.
Yeah, I think it's important also for the Spurs to not overreact in terms of their adjustments, because they are causing Jalen Brunson to struggle. Like, he's not playing the greatest of series.
But the Knicks are stepping up, though. His teammates, but that's one of the things that I didn't really anticipate happening. I didn't anticipate his teammates really stepping up the way they're stepping up and filling that role of scoring the way they are.
Well, let me ask you this next point, because I had written down Cat as MVP. I was watching the Hoop Collective. Shout out to Brian Windhorst. LeBron I don't know why he did that to you. But I was watching the Hoop Collective, and I think 2 of them actually votes on the MVP awards. And both of them said wholeheartedly they're voting for Cat as the MVP if it was to end today.
It makes sense, though.
Do you think it'll go Cat?
I think it goes to Cat because you are shutting down Wemby on both ends. You're not letting them score. You're being a disruptor on defense, and on the offensive end, you're doing whatever you want with them.
Yeah.
I think the difference between Cat and Chet is that Cat has the actual body mass to move.
The girth. Pause.
Whoa.
Hey.
Yo.
He's actually got the body type, and he's actually going against a player for the first time in his career who seems like they're having a problem with him. Most of the time when Cat was going up against niggas trying to, do the big man shit, nobody was going. It seems like Wemby just doesn't have the body mass to do it, or he's just too limber in order to stay in front of Cat, and Cat's taking full advantage of it. So,
like, what I really like about how Cat playing this too is that, like, he's not even, because Cat is probably the greatest 3-point shooter big of all time.
Absolutely.
Like, we could argue over it in terms of if someone upped their volume to match his, how would it look? But what we looking at is
Cat.
what we looking at.
It's Cat. We're not doing the hypothetical.
Yeah, so he's not sitting there shooting the lights off the ball. He's not standing out there shooting 7-8 threes. Wemby's probably done shot more than him at this point. He's out there swinging the pill around, taking him off the dribble, and then is he out there, because he had 2 big threes in his last game where it's like, oh shit, he can shoot.
Right.
Because you forget, because he done took him off dribble, he banging on the boards. Like, that's one thing that kind of surprised me was the rebounds, like how he's able to impose his will with the 7-footer, but he's still slender man up there. So he's still boxing him out. I watched Mitchell Robinson zoning him out, boxing him out. So like he had like cleared the side of the floor for Brunson to take a layup and everything, because he boxed out. He sealed Wemby so hard on the other side of the box, which is what I wish more teams would do. Stop letting him just roam around the floor and everything. Put a body on him, initiate the contact, and sit him somewhere.
See, what the Knicks are doing with Wemby is what OKC was trying to accomplish and just couldn't get done between Hardenstein and Chet.
Yeah.
But with Mitchell Robinson and Cat, it seemed, especially with Mitchell Robinson, it seems like they both have more defensive intuitivity when it comes to dealing with Wemby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and Mitchell Robinson's known for that, so that makes sense.
Yeah, no, but shout out to the Knicks. They up 2-0. It's up 2-0. Go New York, do New York, go. Shout out to Zach. He's our resident New York fan.
Now, I must say, I gotta put myself on the Summer Jam screen.
Okay.
I was talking crazy, right?
Okay.
And I was like, yo, if Wemby go out here and get him a ring and he stay healthy in his career, let's say he peel off, 3 out of the next 5 with this one.
Which is still possible.
You know what I'm saying?
Even without this one, still possible. Yeah.
I was saying the controversial thing of he's going to be better than LeBron James.
Okay.
I was saying it. I was talking crazy. I still believe it, though. I think statistically he has the potential to catch Bron. I think award-wise, next year he has the potential to get MVP and Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, he probably will.
And we haven't seen that since who?
Says what, Jordan?
Exactly. And so now he's moving himself into that space, into that where they're going to have that conversation. So I think I say that just behind stats alone, he can get there.
Yeah.
But if he start peeling off a couple chips,
Yeah.
what are we talking about?
Yeah, no, because my thing, what I saw too is I think even deeper than Wemby getting here for this first time was Dylan Harper getting here, because I think he's found his Kobe Bryant, his, for lack of a better term, his Scottie Pippen, his running mate. I think he's found somebody, and he's not some small guard. He's like 6'5", so he's big body, he plays strong. I think he's found somebody who's also getting this experience, who's going to help lead the way. Because my thing with Wemby, when we look at how tired he is, he's 7 foot something tall. He's never going to have the energy to do everything that
he was getting beat up the whole playoffs too.
And that's going to continue.
Yeah,
that's going to continue, because as he continue to get better, the refs are going to continue to let them bump.
Yep.
So over time, he's going to have to learn to deal with that.
Yeah.
But he needs somebody else to take that pressure off consistently. And now he's going to end up having it with Harper. But that will then, like you said, it'll put Wemby up, because I don't want to do the whole Wemby LeBron thing just yet, because I don't want to hate him. And I know that's gonna end up making me dislike him. Like, it was like moments where it was like Kawhi, Giannis, when they was thinking they was poking at the crown. It was like, oh man, I'm starting not to like him. I don't want to dislike Wemby.
You probably about to dislike Wemby.
But if I go into it minimizing this and then just allow his career to progress, and if he get there and respect where he get there, then okay, cool.
It is what it is.
And then it is what it is. So I'm not going to do the LeBron Wemby thing just yet, because Wemby still got to get there. Because let's also say something happened where he don't get back to the finals for the next 4 or 5 years.
Right.
Which is possible.
Very possible.
Like, then how are we looking at that point when he's now been in this league 7, 8 years? Ain't got back.
It depends on how those seasons go. If you're having losing seasons, you're not making the playoffs, or you're getting a steady first and second round exits, it looks funny in the light.
Yeah.
Even if you're getting the accolades during the season, or if the scoring goes down or the rebounds, if something falls off and we go into it like that, cool. But if you're always in the Western Conference Finals, or you're going straight to the finals every year and just losing, well, no, we still got to talk about it, because we watched Bron go through that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Bron was the king of the Eastern Conference for however long he was. And so this might be the same situation with Wemby, where if you coming out the West, you got to go through Wemby regardless. And if you potentially playing for a ship, you got to beat Wemby to get one.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get up off of this. We're going to switch over, keeping it still relatively on LeBron. There's some rumors that
oh Lord,
he may be taking his talents to Golden State to partner up with Steph Curry. I seen that you were passionate about this, so now that it's queued up, I will let you go ahead. What are you feeling?
If Bron go play with Curry, Curry is better than Bron all time.
Better than Bron all time.
Yep.
Okay, can we drop some bombs on that?
Yep.
Get some bombs on that? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Shots fired.
I'm just saying it.
Okay, man down.
We said this about KD when he went and played with Steph.
Okay.
We said, well, Steph better than you now. Regardless whether you went over there and helped Steph get another 2 rings. Steph had a ring before you got here.
Right.
Bron. Steph has the more recent ring than your ring. He's beaten you a couple of times.
Yeah. Majority of his rings are on your back.
And now you gonna come over here and play with him? Now, I get it. League-wise, basketball-wise, it's like, oh, man, this is reminiscent of the USA team basketball and what we saw.
That's where I was going to take it.
And so I am here for that.
Yeah.
But for LeBron's legacy, this looks terrible, dog. You didn't play with everybody, and now you're playing with literally your arch
He never
nemesis.
played with Chris Paul. Never played with Chris Paul. Shout out CP3. Happy retirement.
But it's, to me, that this would be ridiculous. Like, part of me is like, cool, I want to see it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just the basketball person in me, like, I would love to see it. But like the analytical nigga in me is like, are we dead ass right now?
See, but this is where I think the LeBron thing is kind of weird, because he's 40 something.
Oh,
it's over.
So what?
And we're in the enjoy LeBron's last moments in basketball. We're in this is post the competitive years. Like his
so this would have been cool.
Done.
So this would have been cool if Mike would have went and played in LA instead of the Wizards.
No. This would be cool if Mike went and played in Houston instead of the Wizards. If he admired Hakeem while he was in the league with him together. Well, first,
no, I'm talking about I want to talk about the Wizard years.
No. That's why I'm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that is
early. I'm talking about early 2000s.
Was Hakeem?
No, he was gone.
He was gone by that.
No,
okay.
this is literally like Mike going to play with Kobe and Shaq.
No, I can't say Kobe and Shaq because they're still young and on the way up.
Okay.
Steph is on his way
Well,
out.
this would be the Spurs then.
I can't say that either because Tim Duncan was young and coming up. So
who was early 2000s was
I know Hakeem was still in the league, but I don't know if he was in Orlando. I forget where he went after Houston at this time. Because remember, Pippen was over there.
Yeah, he was on the Rockets.
So yeah. So remove Pippen, remove Barkley, insert Michael Jordan. Or if Mike wanted to go play with Barkley, because they had this great relationship throughout their career. He beat Mike. I mean, he didn't beat Mike. Mike beat him,
right?
Or whatever the case may be. And maybe on his way out, Mike just wanted to hoop with them on the way out.
I don't even think Charles Barkley would have wanted to do that shit.
Maybe, I don't know, but it's a different era. It's a different era. We got to see if Steph want to do it as well, though.
I don't think Steph gives a fuck.
I don't think he cares.
I don't think Steph cares.
But that's why I think these careers are over. And it's like, we saw the Olympics. That was cool. That was fun.
Right.
Let's try and put this together. The old guys against all, because that's the other part. The theme of these last like 4 or 5 playoffs is the young guys are getting these old niggas up out of here.
Right.
Like Steph, you gotta go. Here comes Anthony Edwards. Bron, you gotta go. Here comes Jokic. KD, you gotta go. Here comes your burner phone. Like all these situations is sitting in y'all faces where that generation is like, y'all gotta go. So they're painting it as one last hurrah of the old. KD, you come too.
Oh,
you go there too.
Might as well.
You might as well.
Because Draymond's still there though.
Draymond ain't gonna do nothing because Bron there. He got so much love for LeBron that he ain't gonna mess.
I don't think so. You supposed to have that much love for Steph, and you did it.
You ain't never seen him doing that rock with Steph with the glass up. You ain't never seen that. That's a different type of love for LeBron. That's a different type of love. But I think that's how I would look at it, is them on their way out. Now, if Bron did this in his competitive years,
oh yeah, it would have looked crazy as hell.
That's nasty work. But listen, if people got an opinion about him going to play with Steph because of how, and then you went to Steph's house, it's not like Steph came to LA to play with you, or it's not like
you went to Golden State.
Else. I can feel it, but my man, do you think he's gonna stay in Golden State? I mean, in LA, or do you think the Golden State thing is happening?
I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if he doesn't go back and play with the Cavs. The East is a lot easier.
Yeah,
you don't have to deal with all the people you dealing with out west. It seems like all the young dogs are out west. Mm-hmm. What you got to deal with in the East? You got to deal with Tyrese Halliburton coming back.
Yeah.
You got to deal with Bam Adebayo.
Brunson.
You got to deal with Brunson. But but see, that's the thing with Brunson. You just gonna stick Bron in front of him on the floor. Mm-hmm. Like even though Bron is old, I don't think Brunson cooking Bron.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it'll be just reminiscent of what I saw with the Heat versus the Bulls with Derrick Rose. You just stuck Bron in front of him.
Yeah. My thing with this is I want him to stay with the Lakers and just retire and just let that cook and be that for Luka or whatever on his way out, because I think if he goes to the Cavs, if he go anywhere else, it resets expectations. And I think that is a send-off at 42, 43 years old. Like, you ain't about to give nobody over the hump. Like,
but I think if he goes to Cleveland, there's a chance. You got Donovan Mitchell there. You got Evan Mobley there.
Harden's coming back.
You know what I'm saying? You still got
But I think that's a problem. I think those players are problems.
Hey, oh, my bad. Wrong button.
Hey, yo, for real. I mean, he's not about to say those boys. Like, he's not going to say those boys for real. So I think just rock out. Your time at that is done.
I kind of want Bron away from Luka, though. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead. Let's get Joke down here. Mm-hmm. Let's do what we know is about to happen.
But I still think that's post LeBron, though. Because I think LA is gonna get him somebody.
Let's start post LeBron this summer. Let's do that. You know what I'm saying? But if Bron goes to Golden State, part of me I wouldn't be upset with it. I'd be actually getting ready to watch those games. That'll be must-see television.
That's why I think people just gonna be must-see television. West Coast time, everybody got to stay up.
They'll be competing with the Lakers, and then you get the Lakers versus the Warriors. Yeah, there's so many different storylines you could go with it. Where do we think, before we get out of here, just speaking on hypotheticals, where do we think Giannis and KD end up, though? Those are still two big names that are out there. Does someone go to the Pacers and play with Halliburton now that he's back?
No, but I'm going to give you where I want them to go and where I think they go.
Okay.
Those are separate things. Giannis, where I want him to go is to Minnesota. I want him to go team up and then take on the French Tower together. Like y'all, and keep I don't know if they can keep Gobert, but whatever the case is, I would like to see that. Where I think he's gonna go, it seems like it's Miami or nothing at this point.
Okay.
KD, where I want him to go, Minnesota.
Oh shit!
I just want somebody to go with Minnesota
and go play with
and help him get over the hump. Where I think he's gonna go is Houston. I don't think he's gonna end up going nowhere.
I have just a wild hypothetical to throw out there. Either one of those players need to end up in Detroit.
Okay.
And go play the 3.
I like that too.
And go play the 3 with Cade.
I like that too. I was talking with Zach about Devin Booker coming to Detroit. You know, he a Michigan kid. Put him at the 2 next to Cade. Both of them gun. Got the defense on the back end.
You move Thompson to the 3. Yeah. I'm not sure what we're doing with Jalen Duren. And not we as in me being.
No, I feel you.
But just what's going on there? I think that's something we got to figure out right now if we're going to work with him or not, because these playoffs wasn't a real strong offer.
What I would tell them is, let's see again. He's so young. He got the talent. He's physical. Now he just got his heart broken. Let's see how he responds to that. You can't do the Supermax because he's eligible for the Supermax now.
He's a restricted free agent.
He is, but you just can't do. He could do a regular max.
Yeah.
But you can't do the Supermax. The Supermax will literally handcuff that team because I think K gonna get it too.
Oh, K's definitely getting it.
So you can't operate with 2 Supermax players. That unless they them boys.
And you still gotta pay Thompson at some point
and
too.
You still gotta pay. Like, let's not fracture the team before we get there. That's what Minnesota did. They don't got Cap right now because they went and got Gobert.
Right.
And it might have worked in that era of the NBA where before the second apron is what's busting up all these teams. But now it ain't going to work going forward. So don't overpay for Durant, but see one more time. But I do like getting the scorer next to him. What about Giannis? Or you just either one of them to Detroit?
Either one of them to Detroit. Okay, Giannis will work up there too. Absolutely. I think Giannis going up there would help Duren. I do. But you still got a problem at the 3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna play Giannis at the 4. There's still a scoring problem there. They have a scoring problem.
I need the Thompson twins to be shooting all jumpers, both of them.
Oh,
I don't want to see no layups, nothing inside the key all summer, just straight firing from 3. That's it. Call lethal.
Oh shit.
But loosely on that same thing before we get off the NBA essentially, which is Steph Curry. He signed with Li-Ning. I'm not sure if you saw that for $400 million.
Yes,
he get the basketball thing out of it, and he gets the golf career, all of that clothing up out of it. And what I felt was a huge win, he got to keep his logo.
Yep.
So he got to keep his logo. So now, instead of it looking like Steph Curry signed with Li-Ning after he left Under Armour, it looked like Steph Curry took the Curry brand from Under Armour and took it to Li-Ning. Those are 2 separate things. It's not I'm taking myself. It's like when I see Charlamagne the God, when he makes sure to say the Black Effect Network signed with I forget who they signed with, but they signed that huge deal. Charlamagne the God, yes, okay, but the Black Effect, you brought your brand. Now you've established yourself as a businessman in moving that brand around. So now that brand gains value because that's what's being paid for in this essentially. So shout out to them on that. You had any thoughts on him going to Li-Ning?
I think it looks like that because Under Armour is essentially about to go bankrupt.
Oh, for sure.
And so they wanted to let Curry go gracefully. You know what I'm saying?
That's nice of them.
And Steph definitely held them down. I feel like Steph should have been left. You should have been got up out of there. You were too big of an athlete not to be with the right company. I feel like you sell a shoe with anybody else but them.
Yeah.
I feel like if you on Adidas, you sell. Yeah. Even if you might have had a Reebok, you might have sold. But Nike for sure. I think Nike drops the ball here.
Yeah, for sure.
I think they seriously dropped the ball here. I think Adidas dropped the ball here.
Yeah.
Whoever wasn't talking to him and this didn't get it done, you dropped the ball. Li-Ning makes complete sense.
Yeah.
That was a layup from your boy Clay. You know what I'm saying? Clay,
and from Jimmy Butler, because he was, they teammates now, and he was playing in Jimmy's shoes for a little bit.
Well, both of them just being Clay being your man's with answer, you know what I'm saying? Just them dealing with those brands from that side of the world, I think it might have opened up Steph's eyes in a particular way. And someone even said something interesting to me, like, yo, what about if after Steph is done with his career in the NBA, he'd go do a little stint over there in China or somewhere in Asia to just build on the brand real quick, go have him a quick Stephon Marbury moment and kind of be that next guy behind Marbury and Kobe to have that type of presence over there. It makes sense. Now, him on the golf shit, I clearly see this man being on a golf course in some way, shape, fashion, or form.
He's good, for real.
And so it works.
Yeah.
And so now you're able to bring that brand globally because we see what golf is doing everywhere. And it's the black guy. This could be the quote unquote, he's not going to be as good as Tiger Woods, but he has the visibility now that Tiger Woods had.
And he's mixed.
Oh, shit. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, hey.
That might be one of the greatest Burban Boy Network running gags of all time, because that boy is mixed. But to chime in on 2 points real quick is, one, I don't know if you know, Wemby's a sneaker free agent. His deal with Nike runs up in October. Nike needs to do everything possible to make sure that Wemby is re-signed. And I think they will
They'll
too.
get that done.
I think especially the push they putting behind him. But if they don't, oh man,
they'll get them done. Just don't give them no ugly silhouette like you gave Giannis.
Yeah, no, I agree. And
don't do that.
My second point is, I think Steph Curry might be the most underpaid athlete of all time.
You think so?
The reason why I say that, because he's making his salary. Let's think about what the Golden State Warriors were before him.
True.
Not even counting team success. Let's just talk dollars. Where they were in evaluations, mid-teens maybe or whatever. He comes, puts the run that he puts together. They get the new property out of Oakland on the ocean over in the Bay. They get their valuation. They went from like middle of the teens. They're like probably the number one most valued team in the NBA now at this point, passing up properties like the Lakers, Celtics, the Knicks, the Bulls, passing up properties like that. So that's hundreds of billions of dollars he generated for that team. And then you come back and pull it on the Under Armour side. I don't know about you, but before Steph Curry, Under Armour to me was the tights that NFL players wore or football players wore underneath all of their stuff.
Right.
That's what I thought of it as. Once Steph Curry got there, it was not Nike, but it was competing a little bit with what Nike had, what Reebok had, what Adidas had and everything. So that's why I think his value is super underpaid, is because he created $100 billion businesses off of his back, off of his work, which is also why I think he's probably looking at it like the Curry brand needs to be like everything that I am now at this point.
I think Under Armour gave him what, $300 million?
I don't know the numbers.
I want to say they gave him like $300 million. You just got $400 million. So that's $700 million. I got to understand and think that you've probably made another $300 million, $400 million off of basketball. So that puts you at a B.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's necessarily underpaid. I don't. He might be underpaid because you're in California paying those taxes. And so that's where I see underpaid. But you got to remember, though, Curry, in the beginning of his career, wasn't this. He had the injuries. He wasn't really the best of the player. He just came in with a lot of potential, got hurt, and we didn't know what was going to happen. Now, he's probably got the best comeback story of any type of superstar player we've ever seen. But even with that, like, maybe it's not necessarily that he was underpaid. It's just that you weren't garnering as much money as you should have been in the beginning of your career because of how it was going. And then once stuff started kicking up, I'm sure folks were taking care of you, and we don't even know about local endorsements you were getting, and there's different events that you've probably been in, and so I think he's right where he needs to be.
I feel you.
Nigga don't look like he's hurting.
No, he definitely ain't hurting. No. He definitely ain't hurting. But going to the next one, we got Nick Saban. He made some comments concerning NIL.
Hater.
I have just a statement from the tweet that I seen. Legendary former Alabama football coach Nick Saban issues a stark warning on the devastating trajectory of college sports under current NIL rules. It's becoming an arms race. Who spends the most has got the best chance to win. But I think it's a race to the bottom, because if you don't spend to win, you lose your fan base and you don't have any revenue, which I think is a direct shot at what Indiana just did, because they went from a basketball school that wasn't competing to this level to just buying the national title. So
they also did something else too. It's the average age of the people on that team. They took a lot of 2 and 3 star players who still had eligibility, who were 22, 23, 24 years old, and they were starting. And the average age of a college football team is somewhere between 20 and a half to 22 years old. So this team, by and large, was just older, stronger, and more experienced than the field. Even the quarterback himself, I want to say he's a little older than most. So
I saw his graduation, and I felt it was so crazy because it was another school. Because he had graduated from there and then came over to complete his last year of football at Indiana. Stuff like that is why I think there's a problem with the whole system. And I don't even know if that's necessarily an NIL thing, because I think
that's a transfer. That's a transfer portal.
That's a transfer portal thing, which I think that was also kind of COVID related. Like the COVID babies, they got like an extra 2 years, and then so we're literally hitting the end of that. So I would like to see how this goes.
Well, it goes down to high school athletics too. A lot of people sat out a year, this, that, and the third. So even before they reclass in college, they reclass, and before they even get to high school nowadays.
Did you see that picture of Will Anderson when he was 18 and then when he was 25?
Yes, this is the shit I'm talking about.
That is crazy.
But that's the prime age. That's why even speaking back to Wemby, just give him a second. Like,
oh yeah.
But Nick Saban is a hater.
Okay.
Nick Saban, you're a hater. You started this whole payola shit, bro. It was you. It was cool when just you was doing it. You and 2 or 3 other coaches in the country had the money, could do it or could get away with it. Oh, but now that everybody else doing it, it's a problem. Now you feel some type of way. You the reason why these niggas drive Scat Packs and all the Durangos. It's your fault, bro. And so when everybody started being able to do what you was doing, you got right up out of there. Oh, because that was always your recruiting technique. You was the payola guy. And now that you're not the only payola guy on the block, where's Alabama? Or where are you? Because you got right up out of there.
Yeah, I was say he ain't there.
Nah, he started taking a decline and got up out of there to protect his legacy. Why are you even speaking on college athletics and you're not in them? You're not coaching. So why is it a problem to you? Like, nah, fuck Nick Saban. He a hater, bro.
Yeah. Now, I definitely think he a hypocrite doing it on the way out. Well, outside and knowing that they had a pipeline going through Alabama and I don't think those players were coming there for free. Like, let's not get it twisted. There was some shoulders being rubbed, but now there's paperwork behind it, and now it's an even playing field, and now everybody else is participating. He got a little bit of a problem with it. Yeah,
you mad Akron got some donors and now they getting a couple players. You mad that Pittsburgh got some donors and they getting players. You hating on Indiana? Hey, the SEC sound like they hating on the Big Ten. Look like Big Ten football is really here to stay. Big Ten football is really showing y'all.
How many teams are in the Big Ten now?
I want to say 14.
Okay.
Might be 13 or 14 teams now.
Do it feel like to you college football is just breaking into 2 conferences, and now those conferences are separately doing their own business, and then they may skip? Because honestly, we're at the point now that they could do this without the NCAA. Like, the NCAA ain't a school. It's just a governing body that the schools agreed to sign up to allow this. They can easily separate it to the SEC football conference where a gang of schools have all signed up to participate in. And then the Big Ten or whatever they want to call it, where those sign up, and then now they could take all the money. If you ever did you see the NCAA football commercial, the game?
Yeah.
Did you see how the Indiana coach was talking? And he essentially said, I don't care what you're here for. As long as you're willing to come sign up and play football, play hard. I want you to notice what's missing in a lot of the way they talk about athletes today that are in college.
Academics.
They
don't care.
They don't give a damn about what you're doing in school.
Yeah.
So now you could break that. Yeah. Break that NCAA thing that pretends they got the best interests of the students in the. You could just break it into your conference.
Well, college is even like that now. Like that, it's.
But that's why I feel like that. But that's why I feel like they would be way more willing to do it this way, because I'm not talking about some sports overlord or anything like that. I'm talking about those same college people that are doing it at the endowment level that are like, we got a sports program that generates the most money on this campus.
Yeah.
And we got a group of people that graduated, which were our investments that ain't even investments because they paid us still to go here.
Right.
They paid us to go here, and then they graduate, go become successful, and want to give us more money.
Yeah.
We ain't even got to pay all the way for the kids to go and be great or whatever. I can now rely on my graduates to come and fund my program for me. This is a layup. What do I need NCAA for to tell me anything when I could just link up with all my buddies that I've been talking to all these years, that we've been working together or whatever across all the colleges? We could keep the money, and then we can look at that other conference that did the same thing, and now we could create a Super Bowl.
Especially if you end up with a Mark Cuban being an alumni. When you speak to the conferences, what I see is SEC, Big Ten, everybody else. We still got your mid-majors because there's still good football being played there. Sure. And we still have those instances where you have one of these teams come up and they bust ass up here.
Yep.
I do think this shit might turn into how like soccer is overseas though. Okay. Where like you said, this conference is this prestigious, this conference is that prestigious. And then we have teams maybe slipping out of conferences, slipping into conferences. Maybe these conferences are saying, well, depending on how you play this year, depending on the level of competition, depending on what you could do, if you do bad and your strength of schedule was bad, well, now we're looking at the Big Ten might be looking at adding, to go back to it, moving Pittsburgh into the conference and moving Rutgers out.
Actually, I kind of like that on the low.
Yeah, because it keeps things competitive. And it makes all of these football programs have to put product on the field. And with the NIL being a thing, I think there is a certain level of, not really because bigger schools going to have bigger donors, but now some of these smaller schools now have the opportunity to let people funnel their money into them. And now they can compete and maybe step up a level of where they were at.
Like what would be interesting is like, Indiana would be the example of this, but I think they'll probably be able to keep this going forward. Let's use a mid-major. For mid-major.
Like Boise State?
Boise State, 1 year. Cause maybe they don't have the alumni base to continue this going forward. Maybe 1 year they get together and be like, let's just fund this.
Right.
Get them where they need to go. Boom. Get a championship out. And maybe not a championship, because if you do it like the soccer, some of those teams' championships is staying in the league.
Yep.
Or getting into the league.
Yep.
So you could see these emotional moments, and you could still do it, because what they could do is they could still run the Rose Bowl, Cotton Bowls, all those bowls, and use those bowl games as the game to get into because I know they got them right now. They're kind of the conference championship games.
Well, you got the conference championship games, and you could use some of these mid-tier or low-tier bowl games as incentives to boost your team's cachet up to even have the resume to now be accepted into a major. I think even with the two major leagues, I think that mid-major conference that figures out like, okay, let's get the best of everybody else. That's how you become that mid-major conference that might turn into a higher tier conference. Like it's all driven on competition, but it's also all driven on money. And a lot of this is going to throw a lot of things out of whack. But you know, Trump had said a while ago that there needed to be like a one transfer rule with the portal. I think that needs to go in place. And I do think there needs to be an age requirement so we can stop all of this foolishness. You know what I'm saying? Because I do feel like the kids should be able to transfer. You just shouldn't be able to transfer whenever, because a lot of these kids are getting into the portal trying to transfer, realizing they ain't nowhere to go. And now they're retiring from their sport because of that. And so maybe we are weeding out some of the, you know, not so good players or some of the ones that just don't want to do it right. But at the same time, we do have a problem where you've got someone like Carson Beck, who was at Georgia. He was at the top of the top. He didn't like the situation. He didn't like how things went. And then he bolted down to Miami. And so like things like that, like even though that's one transfer and that would be well within the right of the rule that I'm speaking of, it's just like, man, maybe it might behoove me to stay here. Maybe. And
I think it introduces a little bit of accountability, because I think it went through shifts. I think initially the school had to win the student to come there. Yeah. Once the student got there, the power dynamic gradually shifted back to the school, because now if you leave here, you got a mystery ahead of you. You got a red shirt. Like it's just a bunch of stuff. You ain't got this program. It's a real risk to leave. Yeah. But then it switched once the players got the power and they started telling the school, I don't really like how y'all doing it here, so I'm bouncing. And it opened up, because my one thing is you can never let the inmates run the asylum. That's a bad it's almost a bad reference for sports, but just work with it where, you can't let the players can't run the league.
Right.
So it got too flipped and created these situations that Nick Saban is upset about. Now it gives you a little bit of a room where you got to keep the player happy because they got that one transfer, but now that player is thinking a little bit smarter about that transfer because if I use this, leave this money, leave this program, leave this development system, I now start over.
Right.
And if I get there and they were just blowing smoke and now I'm just stuck.
Or someone else transfers in. At a last minute type of situation.
Now that person got to be a little bit more careful before they hop in the portal as soon as the season over.
I think accountability goes across the board for coaches, scouts, everybody, and players because it's like, damn, you going to talk this kid into coming here and have to come back and tell them X, Y, and Z? Yeah. Nothing you've already not dealt with before, but now money's a thing.
Yeah.
And so now you might have to play with their money a little bit, this, that, or the third. So, yeah. But fuck Nick Saban, though.
Yeah, no. Nick, you can't be talking that way. But let's get on to our center point, our center pin. This is the main topic of the week. I should have said this. I damn near queued up that Hammond Bears song that they did.
Wow.
That Bears song. I damn near might go find that motherfucker.
Go find it real quick.
Yeah.
Connect, and we can connect you to the device so we can hear this bullshit.
Yeah. But the Bears, they've announced that they're now leaving Chicago and heading to Hammond, Indiana. The Hammond Bears are on the way. I don't
think that's as set in stone as people think it is.
I don't think so either. But that's what we got to work with now because this is the second time they've said they want to go to Hammond. But until shovels in ground, which is what I keep seeing people say, is till there's shovels in ground.
I think that's a lot of denial too, though.
It's definitely a lot of denial because I think a lot of the Bears fans weren't necessarily taking it serious all the way at first. Yeah. But now they ain't got no choice but to
the
take
Bears
it
fans only taking it seriously now because they got a good team. And their quarterback's on the Madden cover. If this would have happened 5 years ago, y'all wouldn't have gave a fuck.
Yeah, which that sucks.
What?
I think they would have still been upset though because it would have
still hardcore fans, not all these new bandwagon riding fans.
Well, I will tell you, for a lot of y'all, this is a closer stadium. Hammond, Indiana is a little bit closer than Arlington Heights. So if you got that, I'm going to see the clip. I found it. All right. So there we go. Let me send that. But while working on that, I just want to read the statement that the Bears actually released on this. Yesterday, the Chicago Bears Board of Directors met and voted to advance our stadium development project in Hammond, Indiana, with the exact site to be selected. We believe a world-class stadium project in Hammond will transform the region, connecting Northwest Indiana to the south side of Chicago through the Loop and across neighborhoods and suburbs stretching the north of the city. It will bring Chicagoland together and deliver new opportunities to its residents and businesses. Shout out to them. Hey! It's a big year for them Indiana folks.
Oh my God.
We had Michael go #1 across the world.
The Indianimals are going crazy.
What the? Indianimals. Hey. Well, shout out to all my Indiana folks that got property in Hammond. They never told y'all it was going to be something, but it's something today.
Oh my God. Yeah, this is a nasty situation. Mm-hmm. I think the Bears come out. I made this statement because Illinois couldn't pass the mega project bill earlier this week. That happened on Tuesday. The statement came out, Friday?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so end of the week. I think this is just another scare tactic. Mm-hmm. But here goes the reality of the situation. Mm-hmm. The problem with the lakefront is this, all right? Everything around the stadium, including itself, has been deemed a historical landmark. Yep. They literally cannot touch
they could
the
do
ground.
The stadium because they took the landmark off when they put that other side of
the renovation on it.
Yeah, okay. But to your point, they can't go too much further north. But my whole thing with that is they could have did it in the McCormick parking lot, and they would have been able to do that and repurpose where they at. But they wouldn't have owned it still.
And that's the issue here. You have to understand that the Chicago Bears are the only team in the league paying rent. And a lot of these...
No, there's a couple. It's a couple paying rent.
I believe they're the only team that doesn't own something, though. Like as far as like...
Maybe a pathway to leadership. Because the Colts, they rent their stadium, but there's a pathway to leadership, to ownership. So maybe the pathway to ownership.
Ooh, I wonder how the Colts people feel about this shit that you're trying to do with the Bears.
Well, they don't really care.
Yeah,
because we'll get to on the Indiana side.
But the thing about that's the thing about the lakefront, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's really nowhere else in the city to put this stadium or give them the land they want.
Yep.
A lot of these franchises want to own the land around the stadium, therefore they can be landlords and generate more money. They want the hotels, they want the businesses, they want the foot traffic, they want the whole 9 yards. Arlington Heights looks like a great spot, but travel-wise, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible for any and everybody, and this is going to make O'Hare a shit show. Everything dealing with anything up there is going to become a shit show traffic-wise. It might be a great time once you get there, but it's going to be a shit show.
294 backed up.
Now, Hammond, Indiana site, honestly the same thing. It's going to be off of 9480. That is the one of the most traveled corridors in the country. It is literally the fucking bottleneck of so many different interstates. So it's going to be a shit show. I do have a whole conspiracy theory behind this, and I don't want to get too deep into the tinfoil poo shiesty yet.
Let's do the conspiracy at the end of
I was gonna just swing it back to you just with this whole Indiana Bears thing.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going over there though. I just think this is some bullshit.
I think Illinois overplayed their hand a bit.
Yep.
Because I think they've been playing games. Because my thing with Illinois politics is like, I could understand if we're hard on business or if we're hard on, like if we had, we had situations where we were notorious for being tough on business. I just think with us in Illinois, it sways. It depends on who they're dealing with, and it depends on like what they're feeling in the moment. And I don't think that's good for business. Like, I don't know if you know, but like the Bears ain't the only people to leave Illinois in the last year. I think like John Deere or something like that left, and it's like hurting like Southern Illinois. Like
people don't care about that.
People don't care, but like Illinois is losing companies. Like
because
like
they're taxing them to death. And I have a theory. Man, go ahead.
We can bring it back to the theory.
My theory covers a plethora of shit.
Well, hold it then. Hold it.
Yeah.
But I think they've created this environment now where they seem like they're pro-business, but they're making all these moves on the back end to piss these business owners off who are actually leaving. And that's going to come back to bite us down the line, because for us to be a state city with like so much business going on in it, we are taxed to death already. So it ain't gonna do nothing but probably up our taxes, because all of these buildings and things still are gonna be standing. Soldier Field, it's still gotta be there.
It's and still gonna be used.
And it's still gotta produce. And you know about all the loans and stuff attached to Soldier Field, which is a part of the problem to begin with, and why they want to try to make the Bears pay that on the way out. Like, I feel like Illinois just kind of fumbled this whole thing. Like, once they bought that land out in Arlington, I feel like Illinois should have been, all right, we might not be able to deal with them on the lake. Like, the city of Chicago will be upset, but we got this area in our state that was doing nothing that can generate more than what Soldier Field was generating, because now it can host more things because it has a dome. We're talking Super Bowls here. We're talking WrestleManias.
But this speaks back to the political climate, and it's crazy how a sports team, this whole story's turned political to me.
It is, I think so too.
And the thing about what you're saying is, Illinois feels like that. City of Chicago don't feel like that. And so we have a disconnect between Chicago and Springfield being shown right here just between the lakefront and Arlington Heights.
Like, I don't know if you've been seeing, like, even as the Bears continue to move in whatever way they're moving, because they're dealing with the state. Like, it's not really nothing Chicago could do here, but Chicago keeps rearing their face in the involvements of it. Like, I've been seeing the mayor of Chicago, Johnson, going up to these meetings, continuing to press them staying at the lakefront. And it's like, understand that that's not even an option anymore. Like, because to your point, I can't build out the surrounding infrastructure, which is what I want, because fuck what I'm talking about with putting it on the McCormick. That's just for me, because I like the stadium being on the lake. But I was just there for the World Cup send-off yesterday. And it is hell getting out of there, in and out of there. Like, it is the worst setup.
Let's be honest. It's hell driving around Chicago period.
Yeah.
In general, anywhere, damn near any given time between fucking 7 a.m. and goddamn 7 p.m.
Yep, and especially when you get around that stadium, like our Uber didn't even want to get close to the stadium because they knew they would be stuck there just losing money trying to get out once they dropped us off.
Absolutely.
Nevertheless, how long it took to get in there. So something needed to absolutely change with that, but they're completely off the table. We're now on the Arlington, and I felt like that's where the state should have stepped in and been like, okay, we need to make sure that this happens, because even what the Bears was asking, I don't feel like it was necessarily unfair. The Bears were telling them, we will build this stadium. We will build the stadium. But what I need for you guys to do is to lock in some tax incentives. If we build this multi-billion-dollar playpen that's going to produce events for this state, I need to know what I'm going to pay every year for the next 50 years. I don't want this fluctuation like we've been watching you do, creating all these new... There's a new entertainment... It's not even new at this point no more. The entertainment tax, where they tax things that are going on in the city that are entertainment. So your Bulls, Bears tickets, the reason why they're going up, yes, it's because of the team, but there's a little extra seasoning on top of that that was really dumped off by the people down in Chicago.
Y'all see gas is going down right now in the state. Wait till July. It's going to shoot right back up.
And especially because we've been using our emergency barrels or whatever the case may be, and they're going to run up at some point, and we're going to need to refill those.
The new gas tax goes into effect July 1st.
Oh, yeah, and the new
we have progressive taxes in this state, and these taxes go up small change, right? But it might go up from 25 cents to 35 cents. It might go up from 50 cents to 75 cents. But this is every year that these are going up, and it doesn't stop until we get to said end date of whatever legislation they had. But it gives them the pathway to do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
And one thing we know about taxes is they usually don't go backwards.
No.
They always go up. And so they're taxing a lot of things and a lot of people to death, not just the Chicago Bears, but everyone who's here in general. That's why businesses are leaving. I'm surprised Google went downtown. I really am.
I am too.
They got a good deal on a building, and I wonder what type of tax incentives they got for that, because Google got something.
They got some out of that. Yeah.
But even Google didn't come build new. They just renovated.
Repurposed.
And so that speaks to a lot of things that's going on in Chicago right now. But Chicago is cooked when it comes to the Bears. Y'all don't have the space to do anything, and the state itself doesn't have the legislation or doesn't want to play ball with them the way they want to.
Because once they get out to Arlington, to your point, they'll be able to build all that stuff up. But what they wanted was make sure our taxes stay the same, because as you mentioned, there's progressive tax, there's all these things that could change, and they need you guys to build the infrastructure around in terms of the roads, the connections, the trains. But this is the thing. That deal right there is what majority of the stadium deals are across the country. And for Illinois to keep playing these games as if that's somehow different because the team gets to pocket some money. Listen, this is business. They're not coming here to just entertain a city.
And just because they've been here and won the original franchise. The Bears started off didn't they start off in Decatur?
I believe so, but that's what they're trying to pull, which is that. But even when they built that extra part onto Soldier Field, they were playing this going to Indiana thing. Indiana signed up and did everything that was going on now essentially happened already before. But what happened was Mayor Daley in Chicago and everything was like, you know what? We cannot afford for the Chicago Bears to not play in Chicago. And they built that half measure on top of the side of the stadium, which didn't really fix the issue, but it quelled the Bears' complaints for the time. Now they're coming back and want to do more business and try to get some more things, because initially this started off as a new stadium there. They wanted a new stadium there, and then they start getting googly-eyed at the potential to be able to do because the Atlanta Braves and what they built, what they did with Battery, that is like a model of excellence across sports now at this point.
Absolutely.
Everybody want to rebuild that because my stadium can be closed, but this area could be bussing.
And we can build things in the stadium that run year long, even outside of the sport, and we're going to cook. So
it'll be bussing what nothing's going on. And when those events going on, when WrestleMania or the NCAA thing got nothing to do with the Bears is going on, I'm making money because not only are you renting, because if we own the building, you'll be renting it from us. So you'll not only be doing that, but when my shops is open, the hotels I built here is open, All this stuff is open. I'm making money off of just waking up in the morning.
And you as a state or you as a city are still making money because of all the tourism coming in and all the things that if you are in your right mind, you put up around this area. But all right, I got to get into my theory.
Okay. After your theory, we're going to get to the Indiana side.
I got to get into my theory because I think my theory speaks to a lot of political things going on right now.
Okay.
I think Illinois is dropping the ball because Trump withheld some money from the state of Illinois. I don't think the state of Illinois got the money they think they're making it seem like they got. I don't think the city of Chicago really has any money at all.
In a deficit, so definitely ain't got bread.
I think by Indiana being a red state and Pritzker being one of the potential candidates for presidential type of election things, this is a ploy to make him look bad. This is absolutely making Johnson look bad.
Yeah.
And so I think they're playing political games here. But here goes the real kicker.
Because I do think the governor was going to try and set up a presidential run down the line. So I'm definitely with you on that.
I don't think the city of Chicago is going to be too upset if the Bears leave. Reason why? Because this gives you all more reason to build out the infrastructure of the south side of Chicago, the state of Illinois to clean up or do whatever they want to do with the south suburbs of Chicago because of where that stadium is going to be. Chicago more than likely will extend Lakeshore Drive all the way to Indiana now. You have the reason to do it. The south suburbs in Illinois, we have a reason to tax and clean up all of this now because that stadium's right there. All the land value in the south suburbs will go through the roof. Indiana on the other side. This is mutually beneficial to both states because Gary, Hammond, and all that shit y'all want to clear up, now y'all can tax it to death. This gives Indiana the chance to now have another major city-like type of atmosphere somewhere in the state other than Illinois and feed off of Chicago even more. Chicago now has the opportunity to build the red line down through Roseland, to expand the metro the way they've been wanting to. I'll do you one better. 394. Now we need to go ahead and extend that further south and have it connect to 57. You want to know why we want to connect it to 57? Because we've been trying to put an airport in Peatone forever. Now, both airports won't be nowhere close to that stadium. We need something close to that stadium because if we are going to have these type of events, we need a clean, nice new way to get there that's not so populated and backed up. That's where 394 expansion comes in. That's where 57 expansion comes in. And now we build up from the south going north. And we build up from the north going south. And we clean up this whole area. That is my thinking. Even on the other side of that, Indiana gets to clean up Hammond. They get to clean up Gary. They get to fix up 80 the way they want to. And even south of that, they get to start to move people out that they don't want to be in it. All of this shit is about taxes. And I think they're trying to move a certain demographic of people out of this area. More so these areas being more poverty stricken than most other parts of the city on the Chicago side. The south suburbs probably being the more poverty-stricken suburbs of any of them. And then for Indiana, you've got Gary and you've got Hammond, which they're not necessarily, well, Gary's Gary. But Hammond, we get to clean that up too. That used to be a world-class place. You know what I'm saying?
And they've been working on, because like I used to work in Hammond at the casino, and I've watched in my time at that time, that was 10 years ago, I watched at that time when they cleaned up Hammond, added like to Wolf Lake, which is where the stadium gonna be. They've done a lot in the area, but this now you smoking this because this now gives us a point to clean it up even further.
We have to do the infrastructure. We have to do this. We have to do that.
Ain't no choice. We got to widen the road. It's a 2-lane road that whole way down. You can't tell me they're gonna leave that as a 2-lane road. So to expand it to 3, what's got to be gone? Houses and those little small businesses and everything like that, expand it out.
We might want to expand the Skyway. That works for both states.
Skyway gonna go up.
Skyway's gonna go up. Now we need to do infrastructure on the Skyway, which is a toll road, which works for both sides. Now 90 becomes that much more important because coming off of 80, we have the stadium sitting right here.
I had a friend that was telling me he didn't take this angle, and I like this angle better because it further explains kind of his thinking on it, which was, he didn't allude to Chicago being happy about it, but it ain't gonna be that bad.
I'm not saying they're happy about it, but we can figure out how to. This still fits a narrative that we trying to drive home anyway.
Yeah.
The Chicago Bears gonna be fucking right there.
Yeah.
Like the people in power, the people with money, the Bears are gonna be right fucking there. Yeah, you know how many people are gonna this helps Chicago with that infrastructure problem that they trying to do in South Shore. This gives you another reason to even clear this shit out even more because we want that data center right there. Now we need traveling along this. So we built Lakeshore Drive all the way out to Indiana. I see what y'all doing in South Chicago. Y'all put man, there's so much. There is so much being played on right here, and people are hung up on the sports aspect of it. And think about what we're hung up on. Where a team plays. Look, New York City is one of the most grandiose cities in the world.
And got 2 teams.
2 of them. And guess where they play? New Jersey.
Yep.
The Kansas City Chiefs are one of the most historical franchises in the NFL.
One of the most historical stadiums, too.
And they moved right across the border to a whole different state. All that shit y'all hung up on, which is emotion, don't matter when it comes to business and finances.
The Cowboys, Dallas that ain't what a stadium at.
It's in Arlington.
And it's I know it sounds close, and it is relatively close in speaking, but that is a real drive from each other.
Hammond, look, I don't know how all you niggas tripping in Chicago going out to Hammond to watch the Bears when y'all go out there and get y'all gas and cigarettes any fucking way. It's closer to the city any fucking way.
But that's what he was alluding to. He was saying that like what happens is Chicago don't gotta build the stadium, don't gotta worry about the taxes and all that stuff that ended up happening. And what they could do is just build up along that line and have, because when people come to watch the Bears, no matter what, they're not going to stay in Hammond. They're going to stay in Chicago.
They're going to stay in Chicago.
They're going to want to be downtown. They're going to want to go do Chicago things when they come see the Bears. This is, to your point, the Jets and the Giants. When people come see the Jets and the Giants, they're training in to the stadium and going back to Manhattan. They're not just hovering around in New Jersey or whatever. That's why that area never really developed like that, because they found like, well, what was the point? People ain't going to stay. They came to New York City. To that point, no, you spoke that, because Chicago can, like, because I don't think, to your point, I don't think they're happy, but it's a happy accident. It's a happy accident.
We can capitalize off of this in a way that in a way they really want to capitalize. They really want to take back the south side of Chicago. Everything east of the Dan Ryan, they want that shit. It's perfectly gridded.
Yep.
It is one of the most,
and that's right where the Skyway run through. So you can take, and that, if you clear out from like where Obama Place is, going all the way down all the way down the lake.
Think about all the way down the lake, and then I need back Torrance.
Yep.
I need back Stony Island. I need MLK. I need these streets. I need these communities.
Yeah.
I already started fucking around with shit down there on Cottage, down by 59th with UIC, in Hyde Park, in Bronzeville.
I used to always have this theory that the people with the money, they would want to reclaim the south suburbs in that area, because I think, because initially it's what they wanted.
It's prime transportation,
and
real
then
estate.
they wanted to go be in the city, be all the way. But then they wanted to go back out to the burbs.
Yep.
For the most part, they went north and west.
Yep.
But with the Bear Stadium developing, with this, it is still prime land over here. It's quiet, all that in the third. They could go and do all of that there, and it's cheaper.
And another thing, a lot of this is still cleared out. So when you come to build, we're not building, we're not repairing. We're building up off of fresh land.
Yeah.
The infrastructure is there to do it. Like I said, 57, you're going to build that up. It behooves you to turn 394 into a 3-lane and have it connect to 57. Chicago or Illinois, here goes your chance to get your third airport, because y'all been wanting it forever.
Yeah.
So go ahead and put it in Piattone.
And let me tell you where I think they might end up putting it at, actually. There's a right over here, there's a horse racing place that closed down.
Yeah, Balmoral.
And it's a whole bunch of land over there.
Yes, I know.
I think they might end up trying to put a situation over there. I thought they were going to just pop up and say the Bear Stadium could go over there. But I think they're going to end up.
If they were smart, if Illinois was smart.
Yeah, which is questionable.
Which is very questionable. It would behoove y'all to bring that shit right around here.
Yep.
The infrastructure is there. You have a whole highway. Plus, what I know
busy highway.
Because I live out here, 394 has become one of the busiest highways. It's just as busy as the rest of them.
Yep.
That's because of all those people who A, jumped over the border and moved to Indiana. B, there's all that traffic coming off of 80 now. People are taking all these side streets. If you go down Glenwood Dyer, if you go down Lincoln Highway, if you go down Sauk Trail, they've been backed up, and now the infrastructure needs to take place. Some of those roads have been widened into 2 lanes, 3 lanes.
Let me tell you too, that's also like, it's a low key, a deeper tie to the southern portion of Illinois, which I know you could take that all the way through Illinois, which it wasn't really like outside of that, you would probably loop out the state and go through Indiana, blah, 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 to go down south. But that is now a way for the people of Southern Illinois to just come on up and go see the Bears as well.
For me, it's also still an alley-oop to the Indiana state side because you still get to build up and still get to capitalize off of that right there.
Well, let's talk Indiana side real quick. What I'm seeing on their side is a much better deal. This is a deal that the Bears just couldn't turn down to me. Like it was almost them. If they would have went and did like the Arlington thing, it would have been bad business essentially, but it would have been trying to stay in an area that's potentially business profitable in Illinois. But they're giving $1 billion in public investment. So that's that infrastructure. That's the roads. That's setting up the I forget what that train they got called.
The Amtrak.
No, not the Amtrak. Indiana got their own railroad. I forget what it's called. But they can continue to expand that or whatever. They doing $2 billion towards the stadium.
Sheesh.
The Bears are doing that themselves. Now they don't even got to buy the stadium. They don't even got to build the stadium.
Or you can make it that much more lavish.
Or you could make it that much, because that's what they're going to end up doing. Tax exemptions, which means that area will now not be taxed, which is what they wanted. And it will include, because what they're going to do, what I've been seeing a lot of teams do, is they've been drawing out a district map. And everything that we built within this map, taxes is frozen. It's our stuff, whatever the case may be. And we go from there. They're going to be able to do that and build up all these things that they want to build up around it tax free. They get to keep like a little bit of money off the food and beverage and go to Indiana. But I think a key part is the Bears will sign a lease to own for 35 to 40 years, which means that now I get to get my stadium. My name is on it as far as down the line ownership. We're going to work with Indiana, who does a great job, because again, this is the deal they did with the Colts. The Colts love it. And it's not my building. It's not necessarily liable for things that happen for the next 40 years. And at the end of the 40 years, I can just decide I do want it or not. Or well, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. We're going to play this game again when it's like 25 to 30 years into this deal. And I'm going to call Chicago and be like,
we coming back.
Do you want us?
Oh, hey.
Because it's different. It's different when I'm not going to tell you we coming back. Do you want us? Because we actually did leave.
Yeah.
Our building is about to be paid off. We could do a renovate. We could do whatever we want. It is our land because they gave us land. So how bad do you want the Chicago Bears to play in Chicago? Where do you want them to play in Chicago?
Do you even have to land at that point? Because another thing that's about to hit the fan, once we done doing the Bears shit, we're going to do this all over again with the White Sox.
Yep.
We're going to do this all over again with the White Sox. Because if Reinsdorf doesn't sell that fucking team to that potential owner, I promise you this nigga's moving these niggas to Nashville.
And did you see Ishaba bought the land over there?
Yes, he did buy the land. But if he don't sell the fucking team to the nigga, then that shit is null and void. It doesn't matter. And so we're about to deal with this again. The only reason why the Cubs are doing what the Cubs are doing is because the city is willing to build up and let them do whatever they want to.
Well, they let them buy all the buildings around.
They let them do whatever they want to up there, right? Because they had the opportunity to do that. The Chicago Bulls are dealing with some shit on the west side right now with their whole land development shit because the people of the community feel some type of way about it. See, that's the thing about living in one of these world-class cities. You can't have it both ways. You can't live here and love it for the amenities, and then when they do world-class city shit, be upset with it, and then you're like, well, they're doing it in particular communities.
That's a fact.
They just did it up north.
Especially if you moving around established buildings. If you moving around the United Center, maybe back in the 80s and 90s when it was, the United Center, we don't really know what's going on. You see what type of business and work trying to go over there. Everything has gone up in value over there. The beauty of this, I don't know if beauty or not, is they paying for this one on their own. So it really ain't shit that you could tell them about this one. Because again, they have bought the surrounding area. You buy it. You buy it. You stop them. Them people that bought up the Cubs rooftop buildings or whatever, they ended up selling back to the Cubs. It's a few left. What the Cubs did, well, fuck it. We about to put a scoreboard in the middle of this bitch. Y'all can't see shit. Or sell it to us. Y'all held on to it. Okay, y'all losing money now. Y'all losing money. It's a money pit. It's a money pit. But we're still over here willing to buy it.
Because in my opinion, if they get enough property in one direction of that stadium, they're going to expand it.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to expand Wrigley Field eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because like I said, they already have. And then they got plans on the way. Like, they would love to just take that whole area and everything is something.
And they're gonna let them do it.
Yeah.
Because they love the Cubs. And because I feel like the ownership of the Cubs understands who this team was originally owned by and what it means to the city.
Yeah.
But the city understands that. And they don't seem to understand that with the Bears and their ownership. And so I think there's a rift between the ownership in the city already. Like, this is just bad politics all around.
No, I agree.
And like I was saying, speaking back to just, the red versus blue shit, this is the red folks getting them a little bone in with the blue folks and making them look bad. And so what's going on? This Illinois politics is fucked up right now. I don't give a fuck what you think about. I don't give a fuck what you think about this governor, however good or bad you think he's doing. I don't like the politics of Illinois because we're overtaxed, bro.
Yeah.
We are overtaxed and you can't tell me why. You just can't tell me why. Yeah. It's not.
No, I agree. But we smoked that.
Hey.
All right, so last little bit, some parting words on the way out. Anything you want to hit on our way out?
I was talking crazy about the Knicks just to revisit the finals. I was talking crazy about the Knicks. I was saying, hey, we don't believe y'all can get it done. Yeah. That's just the hater in me, man. That was just the hater in me. I'm not backtracking on them statements, though. Spurs in 7, but I do want to give the Knicks their respect. You went out there and played a beautiful game 1, masterful game 1, and you kept that team underneath 100 points. I think the key for the Spurs going forward in this series is scoring over 100 points. If y'all can score over 100 points, that means the Knicks aren't scoring the way they need to, and the game's kind of flowing the way y'all need to. Yeah. Hey, and have Fox come off the bench. Yeah. Please trade him this offseason too.
It's Harper time. It's definitely Harper time. Any other parting words? Or?
I need just off of sports. I was trying to watch episode 7 before I got to episode 8 of Euphoria.
Okay.
The end of episode 7 of Euphoria gave me mad anxiety.
Okay.
Like, it was just hard to watch.
Host TV, because I do want to come back to TV.
Okay.
I want to come back to TV. Just some quick parting words. R.I.P. Stacey King.
Oh, yeah.
Chicago legend. He was the voice of the Bulls for a little bit. Played for the Bulls. R.I.P. to him. World Cup is on the way. High class soccer. Rooting for America. We ain't got no chance of winning. We just want to come in like 10th place or some shit.
Quick side thought. The World Cup is going to show your everyday American in those cities how bad the infrastructure of America is. We're fucked.
Yeah. No, like the way they've priced everything, how bad our public transportation is across some of these cities. It's about to be an exhibition. And then on top of that, the Olympics is going to show it off even worse in one area because LA, they can't get their trains together.
Well, LA might be all right because, they went ahead and burnt everything down. So they'll be able to build up the shit the way they want.
But the problem is they took too long. They wasted all their goddamn time getting to my next one, going to get Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is in LA playing for the Rams. Shout out to them, went and pulled them up out of Cleveland.
Aaron Darnold looked like he talking about coming out of retirement. Nigga said he was going to do it.
Yeah. What would you feel if they linked them two up and then put the team out there?
I mean, great. This is football, though.
Yeah.
Y'all just one rolled ankle, one bad knee, one bad sack, one bad tackle away from being shit. So, kudos to them for being in a win now type of situation. But
they stay there too.
But for me, I'm still just not believing in it. You know what I'm saying? And I saw, hey, kudos to y'all. That girl came out and said that shit about Puka Nacua, and y'all made that nigga disappear.
They put that boy in some type of therapy.
That nigga's on ice.
Yeah. But then my music, let me stay here. Aaron Judge, sending my wishes to Aaron Judge. He fucked up his rib or some shit. He out for months. He might not even be back for the damn Cubs-Yankees game.
Damn, my nigga Murakami's down 4 to 6 weeks.
Damn.
Yeah, but my White Sox still winning. Right? Yeah, but my White Sox still winning. We still out here.
Shout out to them. Both of them and the Cubs looking like, how are we on the same page right now, on the same level?
Cubs are in the toughest division of baseball right now.
But you call it been looking weird. PCA, he been looking kind of weird.
He glitched up the other day. Did you see him glitch up?
Missed the ball.
Yeah, he lost the ball.
He won the game though. He had I think he had a single or double to win the game. Drove into homes, but that he was like.
Yo, ever since the Cubs came out south,
yeah,
y'all been glitching up.
No, and he ain't played well since he called that White Sox lady a bitch or whatever he called her.
Fucking bitch.
Yeah, like they ain't been the same. But my my non-sports related one, I'm trying to get the music bad. Give you an album, Beloved Part 2. Check that out. It got like some 70s, 80s, 90s vibes to it. I really like it. It got lost in the Iceman thing because I don't know why he decided to drop on the same weekend as Drake, but there you go.
Speaking real quick on music, 6 Black came out with an album recently. I forget,
like him.
I forget the name of it, but it was fire. Hold on. Let me get the name of that real quick.
I like him actually.
Because his shit was damn near no skips. I'm not gonna hold you. Like it's a fire album. Oh, Love is the New Gangster. That's the name of his album. Okay. My boy Manny Wells. Okay. You familiar?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, I'm gonna put you on. He came out with a new album called Small Chops. It's not necessarily the vibe and sound that I really like from him, but it's decent.
What would you compare it to?
It's the hip activation music.
Oh, okay. All right, bet. Okay.
You know, the Vince Staples just dropped Cry Baby.
Oh, okay.
I listened to it. It's not the typical Vince Staples album, but this is some fire ass music.
Is it a season 2 of his show? Where it's just completely like, what the fuck? Oh, you didn't watch season 2, right?
I watched season 2.
Okay.
I kind of like season 2. It's not super what the fuck, but this is a different sport. This is a different musical take. This is like him kind of getting into when Tyler got into the super musical bag. Okay. You know what I'm saying? There's like a bit of a rock and punk kind of inspiration to this music. And then Freddie Gibbs just dropped You Only Die Once Deluxe. So that's out. And a personal favorite, I didn't know this, but Fetty P. Franklin. Bet the Bank on Frank just dropped. If you're not familiar with Fetty P. Franklin, go check that out. That's some ignorant ass nigga music from North Carolina, but that nigga got bars and they go crazy.
Okay. Anything on the sports gamble tip or?
Sports gambling tip right now. The only thing I've really been chasing recently is Hit Run's Ribbies. Okay. I'm a FanDuel nigga, so you can go check the odds out on that. Usually the odds are somewhere between -300 to -500. You typically got to pair about 2 or 3 players together to get you some type of plus money. Me, I'm just looking for something that's like around +100 to plus, maybe +150. I'm not greedy. I just want to double my money up. I know y'all like doing these moonshot parlays, and y'all be hitting them. Hey, kudos to y'all.
They be tempting me, boy. Them parlays.
I just gamble differently. I've been gambling for about, what is it, like a good 5 years consistently now. And I used to have a gang of parlays with, $2, $3 on them, this, that, and the third, trying to catch a vibe for, a quick 80 or 90, 100 piece and shit. And I just got tired of losing my money like that. Yeah. Or I got tired of just hitting one bet out of the several I made and only making a couple dollars on top. And so I really started locking into straight bets and started locking into particular type of bets. If my old sports gambling advice is this, instead of gambling on what you like, find something and attack it. Let's say there's a pitcher out there who's bad against right-handed batters in this particular in away games, right? And you're dealing with a team that has a lot of good right-hand hitters. That's an angle. Attack the angle. You might not know nothing about the players or the sport itself, but that's an angle to attack. Of course, when you gamble on sports, you've got to know something about these sports, but find an angle to attack. That'd be my advice.
I feel we got to work that in before the center point. The
little sports gambling shit.
Yeah, we gotta work that in right before we get to the main point.
Yeah, I'll work on that.
No, yeah. So we're gonna work on that and just to factor it in a little earlier in the show so we could cue that up and then get to the main point. But Euphoria. Go before spoiler section. This is about TV shows because I also want to ask you about Your Friends and Neighbors.
Okay, I haven't watched the season finale of that or Euphoria.
Okay, I don't watch Euphoria, so I'm giving you the gift. Okay,
episode 7 was giving me fucking anxiety.
Okay.
When they was down there and that shit, and then Shorty yelled out Wayne's name when they was opening up the safe. She said the money ain't in there. I was like, what the fuck are we doing? What the fuck? Like that whole episode just gave me anxiety because they cut Rue hand. I'm like, damn, this shit finna go bad. And then Maddie, my nigga Nate, I knew Nate was dead though. I knew Nate was dead when I seen the snake and the whole pole in the ground. I'm like, oh no, that nigga finna get bit up. So they did my nigga Nate. They did him in. Yeah. I ain't gonna hold you though. I did enjoy seeing Cal Jacobs this season, just because I know who you are. You're a wild boy. But I'm really holding off on watching this last episode because it's like, damn, I don't want this to end.
8?
Yeah, there's another episode.
I thought it was 10 or something. I don't know.
No, it's only 8. Supposedly that was the finale. 8 was the finale, supposedly or allegedly. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if there's an episode dropping today, but we'll find out.
Okay. You've watched your Friends and Neighbors? I heard you say you didn't get to the finale.
I didn't watch the finale. Last episode I saw is this nigga slipped and busted his head.
Okay,
and I said that's so reminiscent of season 1 when my man slipped and busted his head.
Yeah.
On the blood, yeah.
So. It reminded me of Breaking Bad when he slipped and busted his head. It's like these damn TV shows, man, they be funny as hell with how they decide to take a motherfucker and fuck their ass up.
Yeah.
But I've been really enjoying this season. Zach had just told me he about to get back into it, so I would be interested to see his take. Been a really good season. My man's the one that slipped. I forget his real name. He a phenomenal actor. And I really loved what he brought to the season so far.
Oh, my nigga Owen Ash,
yeah. I really like the way what he brought to the season because I didn't really know what they could really do with this season.
Oh no, I liked him. Yeah. I liked him when I saw him. I knew he was gonna be an issue.
My favorite thing about this show is it could easily just be about a man robbing houses, but like season 1, it was about the suicide murder thing. Season 2 is about this Owen Ash character. It's like that's what he does, but the main thing is a main thing, and you just got to get to that. We definitely got to talk after you see the finale because it's definitely some noteworthy stuff to talk about. And I think it should be going to season 3. We see how it end up going. But Apple TV show seems to be hitting home runs. So it seems like everything going to come back at this point. But we definitely going to tap in next week when you watch the season finale. And then we could get into how that ended as well.
Woo.
But that's it for this. Oh, you want to?
I think I had something else TV-wise.
Oh, yeah.
I've been seeing all y'all talk about Nature Boy.
Nature Boy, what's that?
Nature Boy, there's a documentary on Hulu about this dude called Nature Boy.
Okay.
Now, I'm a little bit through the first episode, and this shit is a cult. It's about this nigga who was running this cult out in Costa Rica. And it seems like he was luring in men with women and women with men. And he was getting down on these folks. Like, you had to submit, like, your debit card, this, that, and the third. I'm pretty sure we're about to get to some sexual shit, but they slow rolling it.
Okay.
But, like, just in watching the show, for me, what it really made me realize is how much people are yearning for community. And they're yearning for places to feel safe and feel a part of. And how if you talk good and can present some shit in a particular way, you could damn near finesse anybody. So this is a 4-part series. I'm pretty sure by the time we record again, I'll be done with it. So we'll be able to revisit this.
Okay.
But yeah, Nature Boy, it's on Hulu. So, if you need something to watch, go check that out.
All right, shout out to that. But that's a wrap on the first episode of Bulletin Board. Shout out to my brother Reed, putting the battery in my back, getting us back on. We're going to definitely hit on this weekly. If there's a week where one of us can't make it into the basement, I'm going to try and put out some content if you want to put out some content. But any week that we know ahead of time that we're going to miss, I'm going to try and do maybe 20 minutes or something where we could just get something out to keep the feed
We'll
going.
figure it out. We're going to figure it out.
For
Even
sure,
if I gotta run the show one week and maybe get somebody in here, do a little sports interview, do something sports related. Hey, man, make sure y'all stay tuned to the Bulletin Board because it's not going anywhere.
No, for sure. Oh, I guess we... you know the vibe, Little Big Meech. We done forgot how to end pods.
It's a work in progress. Yo, I'm at Burban Boy Reed reviews, man. Y'all know what it is. Powered by the Burban Boys Network. Make sure y'all go over to the YouTube, subscribe. Make sure y'all go to Spotify, subscribe.
Patreon. That's now need to be first.
Yo.
And when we doing the intros now, it got to kick off with Patreon, and then we funnel through what the clips is going to be.
Oh, yeah, because shit's about to change, y'all. So stay tuned.